you always have to ask yourself, do I have the basics? Are all the essentials there to have my horse in the show ring and ready to win? We're going to be talking today with Darrell Vaughn in Aiken, South Carolina, Stable on the Woods. We're going to talk about putting the components together, bringing a horse along from novice ready to the show ring. Darrell, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Now, in your opinion, when you start getting horses ready, what are the first things you want the horses doing?
Well, I want my horses to be relaxed, and I get them relaxed by taking things slow. So by putting certain components in, balance, rhythm, and balance entails more that the horse is okay about you taking your hands on the bit a little bit and closing your leg and they don't get upset.
Now, where does the balance work from?
That really comes from their motor, so their hind end, keeping your leg, keeping their hind feet moving, and again, that they don't get upset about going into your hands or taking the reins.
So all motion, basically to me, generates from the hind end.
Absolutely.
So you got balance, and of course there's collection in there as well. What are some of the things that you do to put balance and collection together?
Well, as you'll see, we go ahead and use our corners, where if we're going, let's say 5 miles an hour into the corner, we'll slow it up just a tad, collecting the energy, making their stride a little smaller, but by using also our leg to not let them fall in. So people will tell you, here's your gas, but this really isn't. This is your Velcro. This is what keeps you on the saddle.
Hang on.
Okay? Right here, your lower calf
Right.
is the gas, okay? And we want to be careful not to use the heel, the turbo, right off the bat. That will make that horse be a little too jumpy and run through the corners. So we want to use our legs to push them out through the corners.
Now with the young novice horses and you're getting them ready, and you're going from the Velcro to the gas and then to the turbo, how do you know, what are signals that come to your mind when you start knowing to go toes out a little bit and getting that iron on them?
Well, that horse that kind of raises their head up and again doesn't go into the bridle, meaning that they don't round up or keep pushing from behind, that's when I'll get after a horse. We use the word balk. They back off.
Right.
So you have to encourage them and sometimes extra encourage them that they're doing the wrong thing and this is a better balance.
Now we talk about balance and collection, and with collection I've also heard you talking about, and I like to use it a lot on the colts I break for wherever they're going in the Western world, be it barrel racing or roping or whatever we're going to do with them. You want some lift on that front end.
Absolutely, and that's why we use the rails and different type of obstacles to kind of get that horse where they're not being so flat and just spreading their body out, where they're coming together and coming off the ground a little bit more. And that's when a horse really starts to gain their balance and then gains their rhythm and their trust in you.
Well, when you put the balance from the lift to the hip on the back end, how much balance are you getting there to keep that shoulder lifted coming in and keeping that hind end in the ground? Like you were talking about slowing down coming into the corners.
Yep.
It's basically like in NASCAR. So you come in too fast,
Yep.
hind end's going to come around. How important is it to keep that hind end under you for drive and balance?
Well, it's super important because again, a horse that is falling through the corners and being heavy on their forehand, they will start to really lean on your hands and you'll start leaning back. And horses learn from the give, not the take. So once we take and they balance up, we want to be able to give right away. And that will again make a horse happy and the rider will be happier.
Now, does that make it easier to move your horses to like even the easy lead changes, a simple lead change or a flying lead change, and then even getting into going